The spring season brings with it the smell of hot dogs and the sound of bats cracking to a cheering crowd.
Fernandez, left field, it's deep, it is gone!
Well, that's right, April heralds the beginning of the Major League Baseball season, the exciting first games for both teams and fans of the sport. Opening Day has become an iconic symbol of both the American pastime and the start of the spring season, having been celebrated in America since the league's founding in 1856. These are 10 crazy facts about baseball's opening day. With so many opening day contests played in MLB history, one team seems to always play well in its first game of the season. The Chicago Cubs, one of the oldest teams in the league, has racked up more opening day wins than any other clubhouse. Their score stands at 77 wins, 58 losses, and 2 ties. The 2 ties dating back to an era before artificial lighting made playing at night possible. Regardless of what happens to the Cubs' remaining games in the season, they at least play well on opening day. Baseball fans everywhere recognize opening day as an unofficial spring holiday, but there was actually a chance for the start of the MLB season to become a national holiday. Ozzie Smith, a retired baseball star, started an online campaign in 2014 to petition the United States government to make opening day an official national holiday. Despite obtaining over 100,000 signatures, the petition was rejected. Regardless, opening day is still seen as a pivotal day in American society, with many fans skipping class and calling out sick just to attend the events. Throwing a no-hitter in a professional game of baseball is one of the most difficult achievements to accomplish, and is highly coveted by pitchers throughout the league. Throughout all the opening day games played in MLB's history, there still stands only one ever no-hitter. In the opener for the 1940 season, Cleveland Indians pitcher Bob Feller threw a no-hitter against the Chicago White Sox, marking the only one of its kind to occur in an opening day game. 12 US presidents have thrown the first ball of the season. On April 14, 1910, baseball enthusiast William Howard Taft attended the home opener in Washington, D.C., becoming the first ever US president to throw out the first pitch. Harry S. Truman threw first pitches with both his right and left arm in 1950. On April 4, 1994, Bill Clinton inaugurated the Cleveland Indians' new ballpark, Jacobs Field, with its first pitch. It just seems fitting that the highest office in American politics be a part of this American pastime. The longest opening day game in Major League history was played on April 5th, 2012, between the Cleveland Indians and the Toronto Blue Jays. The game, played at Cleveland's Progressive Field, ended with the Blue Jays beating the Indians 7-4 in 16 innings. The previous record for longest opening day game was on April 19, 1960, again at Cleveland. That game, lasting 15 innings, also saw the Indians in a losing effort, 4-2 versus the Detroit Tigers. The Philadelphia Athletics and Washington Senators also played a 15-inning season opener on April 13, 1926, with Washington winning 1-0 at home. The start of the season is seen as a gauge, predicting how the rest of the team's season will go. Although this is often untrue, many see losing the opening game as a bad omen. Yet, one team actually forfeited their opening day altogether. In 1907, the New York Giants forfeited their game at the Polo Grounds to the Philadelphia Phillies, after rowdy fans made and threw snowballs. Without police available to restore order, umpire Bill Clem awarded the game to the Phillies. Teams' home openers serve as the only regular season games during the year in which the entire rosters of both teams, as well as coaches and clubhouse staff, are introduced to the crowd prior to the game. For the rest of the year, ballparks only introduce the starting lineups and the team's manager. Some teams, among them the New York Mets, have had their broadcasters as the master of pre-game ceremonies for their game openers, which also typically feature appearances by retired players, local celebrities or media personalities, politicians, and other dignitaries. All opening day games are historic in their own ways. But the debut of the 1947 season brought with it a change to not only the game, but the structure of American society. Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier on opening day in 1947, becoming the first ever African American to play for a major league team. The 28-year-old made his debut at Ebbets Field, playing first base for the Brooklyn Dodgers. Opening day is a time where teams and players can rewrite history, leaving the previous season in the past for the bright future of a clean slate. For some players, however, they make their way into the history books for what they accomplished in their openers. Hank Aaron of the Atlanta Braves hit his 714th home run on opening day in 1974, tying the great Babe Ruth for most career homers. He beat Ruth's record later that week and reached 755 by the end of his career. Aaron's record wasn't passed until Barry Bonds hit his 756th home run in 2007. For some teams, their opening days are also their opening games, back when new teams were being created for the young and growing Baseball Association. While most opening games were tame, some were exciting beginnings to entire franchises. Way back in 1901, the Detroit Tigers got their start as a Major League Baseball team. Their first game was a wild way to kick off the franchise. Trailing the Milwaukee Brewers 13-4 heading into the final frame, the Tigers managed to put 10 runs on the board to win the game 14-13. To this day, it remains the largest comeback ever on opening day.